Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Trailmaker series. Today, we got action aplenty. So, find your favourite vehicle seat, preferably something with a bit of armour, I would suggest. And, let us get this show on the road. And on the road, by that I mean there are no roads, and I will try and skip the Back to the Future reference there, but I don't think I was completely successful on that one. Anyway, here we go. Now, we're starting off with a few tweaks to the vehicle that we created in the previous episode. Given the mission we are about to undertake, I felt like even more armor might be appropriate, so we ended up removing the little bit of aerodynamics off the side, and we've elected to replace that with some extra blocks for some, I guess, redundancy. And we found a few little willing volunteers for us to test out the new durability we have available. Turns out they actually weren't that much of a challenge, really. We did make a bit of a complete cluster of this whole situation, and we still didn't really take that much damage. So I'm going to take that as a bit of a win at this stage in terms of the durability of the vehicle. Now, what we're going to be doing in the first part of this episode is we are very much moving the story forward. In fact, the entire episode is pretty much devoted to moving the storyline forward. We are going to head off to the drill location, the Mega Drill. Ooh, big and scary. And that's the highlighted mission marker that we have at the moment. We're going to head over there now, and we are going to see what kind of fight we have awaiting us. Hopefully it's just a scouting mission, but my spidey senses were tingling on this one, so yeah. Alright, so as it turned out, spidey senses were correct. We have ourselves a boss fight. Now, we have to pew these little weak points on the legs when they pop up, and I presume that's ultimately going to wear the drill down or give us an opportunity or an opening to actually do some damage. So in between the whole killing of these weak points, we have some reinforcements that we have to deal with as well. So this fight was a little bit of a handful. We certainly have already taken a little bit of damage here. In retrospect, I probably should have put a second set of shields on this, but I don't think I had the materials. It didn't occur to me, so I don't even remember if I did or I didn't, but it probably wouldn't hurt with this fight to instead of just having one shield on the front, I'd have been better served to have one on each, one facing left, one facing right, because the little bit of damage that would squeeze in between from the front and the back wouldn't have been enough to do, the kind of damage that I was taking here, because they were, pew-pewing me from all sides. But we did okay in this one. We definitely got hammered a few times, and you are going to see that, but it's not like we're going to run out of repair tokens or anything. There is a lot of repair tokens around, so don't feel don't feel rushed. I'm pretty sure if I had a better vehicle setup that could deal with driving up these ramps better, this fight would have been half as long. Essentially, this is the opening that you get. Once you shoot all the weak points on the legs for a given round, you can drive up here, and I reasonably screwed that up. I say reasonably because in later rounds I absolutely completely screw that up. But anyway, yeah, we get a chance to drive up the leg and shoot at the core. Now, with a better vehicle, I'd have got up there quicker and I'd have had more time shooting at the core. And there is one round where I do a really good job and I end up like destroying almost half the core in that one, you know, driving up the leg thing. So in retrospect, I probably would have focused a bit more on, I guess, stability and a little bit more ground clearance, just to make it easier to get up and down the legs, and a lot less height on the vehicle. I think I'd have probably worked on trying to get the turret as low as I could on the front of the vehicle, and then I had maybe a slightly longer vehicle to give it a bit more stability. But look, I have a funny feeling we're going to have a lot more boss fights in our future, so we can sort of get a bit more fine-tuning going in our vehicles as we progress. For now, this was definitely good enough for the job that it needed to achieve. And this fight, I mean, the fact that I didn't run out of repair tokens, and the fact that other than a bit of misfortune rolling over and taking a few rockets that I could have otherwise avoided, I did alright on this one. And yeah, we did, however, have a very long fight. I think I was in this fight for, it's got to be close to like 10 minutes. I'm sure you could easily end this fight a lot faster with a better tuned vehicle, a bit better coordination, and I'll just say being a bit less rudimentary overall would see this fight easily cut down by about half the length, I reckon. Anyway, so we've got our exposed core here. We took off about a third of his health. That was pretty good going. We get flung away again, and that does a bit of damage to the vehicle, but overall not too bad. The EMP though knocks the shield out. I noticed. It didn't occur to me at the time, but yeah, that EMP that he hurls at you is a bit of a pain, because it does take a little while for the shield to regenerate. But when the shield is up, the shield is up. I didn't see much get through the shield at all. So this little frontal shield that we have is just absolutely awesome. I can see myself using it quite a lot in incoming battles. Now, from this point forward, I did speed things up a bit. The episode, like I trimmed it down and I thought I'd done a reasonably good job, but on review it was still like 35 minutes. So I thought, no, that's a bit long. I am trying to keep the Trailmaker videos as, you know, efficient as I can, but 35 minutes was definitely going to be too long. So I ended up speeding up about half the battle, and this is the half the battle that I sped up. It's all pretty much the same drill. Shoot the 4 weak points, fend off the attacks, shoot the core, rinse, repeat. So we had some really bad luck there with physics. We got rolled over, and this is one of the times where I really didn't get a go at the core at all. And avoiding those would definitely make this fight a lot shorter. Anyway, I've had enough of a rant about this fight, so I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of it. Woohoo! The king is dead. Yes. Woohoo! Yeah, that last run up the leg, that was a better way of doing it. So essentially line yourself up on the weak point on the top of the leg and then shoot it, but then keep going and then, smash the core as part of the same, approach. I think that would have been a far better way of doing it, and I reckon the fight would have been maybe even less than half the duration it was, but it's all good. We got it done. We have, made all the repairs that we needed to make. We're back here, and we're just going to have another chat with Master Sapo and see what he can tell us. Alright, we've leveled up, we've got access to some new blocks, and Master Sapo is sending us off in the direction of the next Mega Drill. He wants me to build a little raft so we can sail over to Darog's Pond in the Mudflats. Well, this now brings us to the task for the second half of this episode. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of trial and I will safely say error in this part of the episode. A lot of this is going to be devoted to me attempting to make a suitably appropriate watercraft without reading the instructions. Anyway, you can see there on the right it says enter blueprint mode. So the mission is telling me exactly what I should be doing, but I just went straight into right. I'm gonna make a thing that's gonna work on the water and to some extent be able to drive around out of the water. So I make a few changes. I stripped the old Frogget bus down to the basics, and then we're adding some flotation pontoons on here, and we're having a bit of a look around at what our options might be for propulsion. Sorry, words are hard first thing on a Sunday morning. And I do watch quite a lot of Scrapman's videos, and he did regularly extol the virtues of the outboard motor. So I thought, yep, right, I'm just going to use a couple of those. I mean, I've got the wheels in the water, so there's going to be a bit of drag from that. So I think, two motors is what I need. We're going to work on the hull here and make it try and sit a bit lower in the water. Yeah, I'm just going to let you sort of watch what happens here. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, on the gas, and yeah, it's the whole center of thrust is way below the center of mass of the vehicle and the center of the buoyancy, so we've got some tuning to do, not the least of which, we left wheels on it, but we forgot to leave some engines on it. So the minute we're out of the water, we're immobile. So there's a couple of engines. We're a bit limited on power cores, but 2 engines should be enough to get us around. We also need to slap some defenses on here as well. So yeah, we've got a lot to get done. So I did sort of speed stuff up quite a lot for a few of these build sequences because, yeah, no surprise to anyone, I was dithering around rather a lot. Not to mention I did find some rather amusing physics glitches along the way. So, yes. So what you think about the chaos that is me trying to build a watercraft? Yeah, curious physics interaction there. You'll see the front of the vehicle is turning as I turn the turret, and it's because I've got the pivoty point there. It's not high enough. Like it's trying to turn against the shield block as well. So essentially, yeah, it's trying to rip the front of the vehicle off every time I turn the turret. So yeah, it's alright. We do work out what's going on here shortly and take some corrective measures. As far as weapon testing goes, yeah, that seems to have done the trick so far. Now let's see if we can. Oh, yep, some more physics glitching. Yeah, we've definitely created a bit of an animal there, but we'll work on getting that sorted in a moment. Oh, it's funny what you notice on playback. I was very focused on the fact that it wasn't ripping the front of the vehicle off, but I'd not noticed that I attached the block. Yeah, you can see there. Wow, I didn't even notice that while I was chopping the episode down. I'd managed to accidentally, definitely accidentally, attach the shield block to the servo, and so it turns with the weapons. That's oh, okay. That's a very happy accident. I'm going to try and do that more with my future builds as well. That's actually a really good idea because now, whichever weapon the guns are facing, and presumably I'm going to be facing towards the enemy, the shield is going to face in the same direction as well. Ha! Nice. Alright, so I have this wonderful little craft here, and I'm going to describe it as wonderful because it's a happy accident that ended up being wonderful. And I was wondering why I didn't now have, you know, a location marker on the map to say, right, now we get to go to the next location. Well, yeah, the whole building a watercraft thing, they're expecting you to build this thing, and you do it through a step-by-step process through the builder and the blueprint manager. So yeah, this is just us wrestling with the fact that we've already spent a bucket load of resources on our existing craft, and we now no longer have the resources necessarily to build this thing. Thankfully, though, it didn't really absolutely need us to do it. We just needed to build enough of it that it qualified as a vehicle. Once we did that, it said, yep, right, that step's done. So now we've switched back to our fully prepared, finely tuned and absolutely amazing, amphibious, weaponized, shielded, and otherwise amazing, question mark, craft that we have here, which is still violently unstable on the water. Yeah, we're going to do some more tuning on it here in a minute. In fact, the tuning is almost never going to stop during this episode. So we're just going to head over to the wastelands over here. We're going to deal with the inevitable pain in the backside that is the botnak that has spawned in. And then we'll get on with the whole business of tuning. Never mind I think I saw Elvis, or maybe I'm just, enamored with how amazing my amazing hybrid watercraft type thing and its amazingness. Yeah, no, it's actually not that amazing. So anyway, this is where I came to the realization that yeah, it's where the center of the thrust is off center relative to the center of mass, and I undertake to try and do something about adding some stability. Now I tried popping the motor up, which worked to an extent, but it meant the motor was mostly out of the water, so I wasn't getting a lot of speed with it. So then I dropped it down, but that made things 10 times worse because it offset the center of thrust quite a lot more, and just resulted in us almost immediately flipping over the minute we tried to move forward. So then we put the motor back to where it was originally, and then we've, because there's two attachment points vertically with the buoyancy tanks, we've just elected to raise those on the vehicle, which of course will lower us in the water. It means the motor is more in the water, and that actually had a pretty solid effect on our stability. Is it perfect? No. It will still flip over if I, like, for example, when I spawn in, yeah, if I go straight on the gas after I spawn in, it does want to flip over. So I think there's an element of drag from the water that's contributing to us not sticking our nose up higher, and that's the only reason why we're stable. So it's something we sort of need to be a bit mindful of as we travel around. This mud is, even with off-road tyres, this mud is crazy slippery. I did go in the water a couple of times in the gathering vehicle, and it was really hard to get out again. Anytime the botnacks show up like this, the only answer is to jump in our craft. But of course, yeah, there's botnacks around. So what do? I immediately push forward, and pushing forward is immediately what causes me to do this. So yeah, look, I don't know why a mild state of panic set in. It's not like I haven't faced this type of botnack before. But eventually we get our, chenies together, as they say. And we realise that, yes, less speed equals... Oh, no, we still haven't quite got there yet. Oh, my lord. Anyway, we do get there eventually, and I think next session I'm going to work on trying to make us more stable in the water. Part of the issue I had was the materials I needed for the buoyancy tanks. I think I was basically out of them. I didn't have enough to make any more. But I'm thinking I may need to lengthen the vehicle and add some extra buoyancy tanks on it, just to stop this whole, wanting to flip backwards when I'm in the water. But as you can see, if I don't put my foot on the gas straight away, it does settle down, and it is actually quick enough. I mean, I'm not going to break any land speed records at 53 kilometers an hour, but as far as getting from point A to point B, it's quite a serviceable speed. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm sure this isn't going to be the last time I'm going to have issues with a vehicle that require further tuning. Alright, so this is the mudflats, and we are approaching Derog's Pond. Derog's Pond is essentially our final destination for this episode. We're just going to park up here, and we're going to have a bit of a chat with the locals and see exactly what they would like us to do. Oh, Okay, so Derog's Pond is named after someone called Derog, and apparently we can't talk to him at the moment because reasons. Swamp Gumbo. Okay, that sounds mildly interesting, but we've got a few things going on here. We've got a boombox that's boomboxing in the background. That's quite an animated boombox, I have to say. Nobody seems to be completely aware of where Derog has gone off to, but we've got a marker now to go and seek out old Ulysses, and he might be able to help us with Derog. Ulysses. Okay, I don't know if you know your Greek myths at all, but, well, actually, that's the Roman version, but anyway. We may have quite the adventure ahead of us. Speaking of things that are ahead of us, the end of the episode is ahead of us. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Until next time, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure you have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.